Very specific question, Jamsh. Okay, we messed up. Till I collapse.
Till I collapse. I'm gonna collapse.
Is the logo too cocky here?
I was shouting.
At the end, like nothing meaningless.
This is gonna be a full motivational podcast. Yeah, I got pushed.
Camera recorded. Cut.
Yes, officer.
It's how it's
This guy.
Hello guys. Today we are having our first podcast in KUMECH Talks with Selahattin and Jad. If someone doesn't know, they are our graduates. They're graduates of Koç University's Mechanical Engineering Department. They graduated last year. Now they are doing their masters. And guys, can you please just explain about your masters?
I can start. I'm doing my master's currently in mechanical engineering under the supervision of Professor Erdem Alaca.
Perfect.
I work in his lab. It's MCL. If anyone doesn't know, it's Mechanical Characterization Laboratory, and my research focuses on like force measurement at the nanoscale, investigating mechanical characteristics of different materials ranging from tissues, mechanical tissues, to soft biomedical materials.
Okay.
And it's my first semester, hopefully.
Nice. I'm doing my master's in Scotland, Glasgow, in University of Glasgow, in aerospace engineering. My master's, I converted from mechanical to aerospace due to my interest in aerospace.
Mm-hmm.
My MSc is a little different, where it's a thought-based MSc. So I'm taking an overloaded amount of courses, and instead of having a research area, I will have a dissertation project at the end of my master's. But I'm also in the first semester of my master's.
Okay, great guys, great. Can you just share about your experience from Koç? I mean, you get back recently here.
Yeah, I just came yesterday to Istanbul.
How is it? Like,
it's really nice seeing the university, seeing the club again, seeing all the effort continuing, all of it flourishing after what we started. I think we can start from discussing how we first got into the club in the first place.
yes, I also will make an intro as well, I forgot about that. Selahattin was the co-president last year, and he was also captain of our drone team at the same time. And Jad was vice president of the club and was the vice captain at the same time in drone team. The drone team still continues, so they are doing their masters.
And we'll never stop continuing, by the way.
Of course, yes.
To everyone.
We are reaching new heights.
Yes.
Never expect our downfall. How was the club thing? How do you feel when you leave it? Because I will feel the same this year.
When we leave it?
How it feels to leave it? Leave it behind what you started.
It's
worrying about it probably, right? How it will continue, and probably someone's failing.
We left
like
it.
Me.
We left it in good hands. Not gonna lie. You're the president currently, and it's in good hands.
Thank you.
I think it was difficult, at least for me. Not the club so much, but the UAV team the most.
Yes.
For me, because we founded it, we started it, and starting from the beginning, it was a lot of effort, a lot of time. So it was a little difficult, and I was worried about it continuing. But I mean, I'm still continuing as advisor with Jad as well together.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying our best to make sure it continues. But it's nice to also see it from the outside, to observe, because it's really stressful from the inside. I mean, you obviously know how stressful it is now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Basically, how it's for me. In previous year, there was 2 vice presidents, 2 presidents, etc. And it was I think, as I saw, you were helping too much each other. You could pass the test and stuff. Now it's a bit very hard. But the thing that you started everything at the beginning, when there was nothing set, new departments, etc. It's much important to have too many people at the beginning who help each other.
That's the eventual goal of the team and the club itself. Without continuing interest from people and recruiting people every semester, I don't know how is the policy right now in the club itself, but the aim, the goal to recruit people every single semester is the key for the club and the team to survive.
Of course. Yes.
And with more people will come more creative ideas, more departments even, and they might be doing a better job than we even did.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we built a good foundation. And
I mean, that was the idea, because we're obviously not, or we weren't the first mech club. We weren't the first UAV team. Coach is what, I think 25 years, 24 years now going.
No, it's like his 30th year.
30th year.
Yeah.
Yeah, way
But
way
the
beyond
mechanical
that.
engineering, the engineering department is 20.
Engineering department is around 25 years.
Yeah. So, and like they've had many clubs come by, die out, and the reason for that was they weren't continuous, they weren't focused on continuing. It was just a startup, a few people continued it, and then it died out. That was what we didn't want to happen.
Yes.
So we really focused on making sure that the foundation involved constant recruitment from ELC to all the way to senior year. So we always have a new influx of interested people. Because there's always people that want to do these things, but we just need to make sure we get them to the right place. Because I can speak firsthand, when I came to the university in my first year, I looked at all the clubs, especially I wanted to join a UAV team, since UAVs were so large and popular in Turkey at the time. And there was no team. So I joined, what was closest to the team was KUMECH, the AI and AI Intelligence Robotics Club, I think, Society.
Yes.
When I joined them, I told them, how can I get started for a team like this, for a project like this? And they told me, it doesn't exist. You can't get started, and you can't do it. They basically told me I have to work in the club.
They blocked the way, yes.
Yeah, they blocked the way. And they weren't, nothing against them, by the way. This is what they had observed. And since what they had seen until that point was correct, it wasn't very possible. And we wanted to change that. So anyone that had an idea, the technology teams in the club started off as only a UAV team. Then we expanded to rocketry, and then we expanded to rover team. Shout out to Mert and Deniz for leading those two departments. They're doing an amazing job.
Yes.
Both teams have achieved what was
Great
not
successes.
achieved in Koç ever in the last, again,
Yes.
25 years.
True.
And we hope that this continues.
And shout out to Professor Metin Muradoglu, by the way, because he is the guy, he is the man that pushed us to recruit people and always be seeking for different people to keep the team and the club surviving every single year.
Yes, definitely. Metin Hoca, I think, was the most pivotal and the most
supportive
the
one
most
as well.
supportive.
Yes.
I mean, again, nothing against the other professors. They
No,
were
no.
all supportive, but they were all very skeptical at first. Because, I mean, again, they've seen it happen many times.
They have their full right to be skeptical, of course.
Exactly. But Metin Hoca always stood behind us, always supported us, and thanks to him, the club is what it is now. I think another very prominent figure that's worth mentioning is Hakkı abi, who is Hakkı Kızılok. He is the member of the board, advisory board of the mechanical engineering faculty. He helped us significantly, especially in getting traction in the beginning, and he still continues right now.
Yes, of course, he's still advisor of our club, and thanks to him, we have
Merhabalar.
Hakkı Bey is still our advisor of the club, and thanks to him, we still continue working, and he helps a lot of us with financial and other problems, issues at the same time. So basically, again talking about the club, our duty now is to continue the legacy and keep the motivation, so the club doesn't fall apart. And the purpose is finding the right people, and there are sometimes people who want to join just to have a social activity, but yes, that's true, but if you want to get a better position, I think you should work and dedicate yourself. If you put it on the same level of importance as your classes, or maybe sometimes, for example, I put them above my classes.
Look, there should be a balance.
There should be a balance, yes.
There should be a balance. You should not sacrifice anything to the benefit of any other thing. Like, for example, I can recall my first semester in my fourth year. Everything started so fast. So basically, I was taking 6 courses. 4 of them were mech courses, and they were graduate level courses. So this was kind of demanding and scary at the beginning. Then Selahattin offered me a position like in the club. I started up as a board member, then I was promoted to a vice president. And at the same time, we started the UAV team as well with zero knowledge about UAVs. And also I got contacted by the lab, which I'm currently working in, to be an undergraduate researcher. So everything accumulated over itself. And I was not sure if I can do it. However, it turns out in the end, with the right balance, you can succeed in everything. I was promoted to become a vice president. I am now working in the lab I studied as an undergraduate researcher. I scored the highest in this semester among all the other semesters. And we successfully built a UAV team that competed twice locally. And yeah, so it all comes with balance and not sacrificing this over that.
Yeah, true. But also, like in the previous year, I was a board member, and I was trying to take from my classes advantage. I mean, from my business classes advantage, and using them in the club management mostly. So of course now I'm trying to keep balance, but before that it was a bit struggle. In the beginning, it's a bit hard. You're trying to learn after that. Also, like after getting assigned as a president, it was a bit stressful to me as well. Like also when you guys left, because I was too much relying on you at the same time, and yeah, it's
You are doing it. You are doing it.
I'm
doing a
trying.
great job.
We're trying our best. We're trying to do new project as this one. We're trying to work on other departments as well.
Shout out to Hamai, by the way.
shout
Like
out
she
to-
is like carrying all these podcasts and stuff.
Yes. Shout out to our seminar department head, and thanks to her, we're continuing our projects and our department going on.
Talking about starting off, I think we can discuss how the club was actually about to die before it became what
You
it
were
became.
there before me.
Yeah, I was. I think
Before back when?
back when. So the club was formed in
2022.
2022. Serhat is the founder of the club.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he founded it out of a necessity that there was no mechanical engineering club. And he rang me up the summer before he opened the club saying, hey, I'm opening a mechanical engineering club. Do you want to be a part of it? And mind you, at that time, me and Serhat weren't close. Like, I just knew him from classes. That was it. And I told him, of course, I would want to. We opened the club starting that semester. And we actually ended up doing, like, we only did enough to keep the club open so it wasn't shut down by the club office, which was doing like minimum 2 events per semester.
2, right?
Yeah, 2 events. And at the end of the year, for the last board meeting, we only had 4 people join. One of them was Serhat. Sorry, we had 5 people join. Me, Mert, Serhat, Khan, and Ibora, us 5. And in that meeting, Serhat was like, guys, like, I'm not going to be president again. Who wants to do it? And me and Mert were like, we would be down to do it. And we said, okay, let's both split it 50-50 as co-president. And like the club was at a point where it was about to be shut down, and we only had enough people joining the meeting, the final meeting before it closed, to just keep it alive again.
Because you need to present to club office how many people you have.
Exactly, yeah. We have to present a certain number of board members.
Yeah, true.
And at that stage, we really thought like nothing was going to come out of it. And then that summer, me and Mert really put up the team together, worked really hard. And now where it is, we have 20 people in the board, including the active members.
Yes, including the active
members.
Yes.
And if we include the teams, we have 3 teams, each consisting of at least, I think, 20, 30 members.
Between 20 and 30 people, yes, for each team, approximately.
So the team is hosting minimum 90, 80 people.
Yeah, and the entire club now, I guess, amounts to 100 students.
We have 10 yekas, approximately 9 yekas right now, and after that, active members joined. So if they will show themselves in a good way, they will become board members and they will stay in the club as well. But yes, approximately like 100 plus right now.
Yes, like maybe moving from like how did the club start, maybe how did the UAV idea start. I was sitting in a mat peacefully, alone, having lunch. Then suddenly like some random guy comes.
Random guy enters me.
Exactly. I didn't know him except like his face. He's like in my class. We're in the same classes, we take the same classes. He started to show me like videos of a plane he did while he was in high school. It was interesting, not gonna lie, like having this kind of video, this kind of plane flying while in high school is interesting. Then we like stopped a bit talking about planes and we became friends slowly until the peak where it's like in like thermodynamics, where we noticed that we can do this together, we can study together, we can help each other study rather than like affecting each other negatively, and this is where our friendship started. Yeah.
I mean, adding on to that, again, the high school project and that idea, I mean, I was always passionate about aircraft and flying, and again, COVID started at my last year of high school, and I was just locked into my bedroom. So I was like, okay, I was just watching YouTube videos of RC hobbyists building their own planes. And these were people with zero engineering experience, just as a hobby. So I was like, why don't I do the same thing? So I started at, this sounds so cliche, like at literally my parents' garage. Like I literally went down to my parents' garage.
It's used
By the way,
everywhere.
It's used, but it literally was like that. It was my parents' garage. I went down there and bought foam board from the nearest kırtasiye and just started designing what I could see.
So,
Yeah.
by the way, like we know the story about, like I heard it before as well, that you had the idea, you had the experience before building the team, but I never learned about like what kind of plane was the first drone plane you did.
The first plane I did,
Like
I mean,
the sizes, the specifications, like how was it? Was it successful? Was it flying?
I think the first like 20 planes I built were unsuccessful. And no
20
joke, like
planes.
first 20 were
20 different, like
20 different planes. All of them were crashes because, I mean, building an RC plane out of nothing is very actually knowledge heavy, and I knew nothing. I didn't even know what an airfoil was. I would just literally, like, I didn't even know how to build them.
Just carve it out of like
Just-
foam board.
I was literally carving it by hand, like it was
Ah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
So I built, this was, by the way, this process I'm talking about is 3 months of one summer. I started the beginning of summer, and for 3 months, the first like 70 days of the 90 days, I had nothing fly. Like everything that took off just flipped on the spot and just broke. But then the last like 20 days, I built something and it took off and then crashed. I was like, okay, this is going somewhere. And then those last 20 days were very, very important for me because that's when I saw that if I put enough time and effort into it, eventually I had something come out. And then I spent those last 20 days building stuff that actually started flying. And then I was like, okay, this is manually flying. How about if I add a commercial flight computer to this? So then that's where I really got into the more in-depth of it. And by the end of the summer, by the last day before I had to go back to, or when I actually got accepted to uni, I built the first plane that took off, flew one lap autonomously, and then came back and landed manually myself. And I had a GoPro on it. It was a small plane. It was like a 1.5 meter wingspan, 1 meter horizontal length, and like 2 kg weight.
2 kg. What's
2
made?
kg.
What did you do? Like, what materials did you use for it?
Just foam board and balsa wood, just made out of literally my hand.
This is where we got the inspiration for our first
Yeah.
Kuava plane.
Now I understand.
It was not called Kuava back then, but yeah, this is like, if you can compare now the model that we started, balsa wood and foam board, and now we are moving into lightweight PLA and much more advanced technology, you can see the improvement that this team
Yeah,
has
of course.
gone through.
The issue was, again, like Jad said, we had no knowledge in the team. Like everything we knew was the really crude caveman level stuff I built.
Exactly,
in high
like
school.
normal physics. Like, okay, there's this force balance. That's
Yeah.
basically it. And yeah, like speaking of the team, which I guess was one of the best days if you're talking about a personal level, because literally the team was made out of friends. He brought me, I'm his friend. Khan is a friend of Gokhan, of Serhat, of Berk, of Matt. It's a group of friends, and we made something from nothing.
But by back that time, you should have. I think it was very important by that time to have a group of friends who can rely on, so you can build a team, so you can give each other tasks and work together at the same time. You had like same passion, same motivation, and now it's like on very professional level. Like every beginning of the semester, team is getting new people.
Yes.
Team is building on new people, and the old captains, basically, because some of them are graduating, some of them are retiring, and they are getting replaced by more experienced interns, like more experienced engineers, which were interns by back then. And I think that's very good. And also, I think it's very good to have this kind of teams and clubs in general, because for me, I met too many new people,
Yes.
too much new people, and they helped me to learn more about maybe my classes, learn too much stuff about life exactly at the same time. And I think joining this club was a very big, good thing back then, and joining the team at the same time, because I learned too much things.
Yeah.
Because most of the time you don't learn this from the classes, and you should know, guys, like you learn it from your experience when the plane doesn't go up, what you should fix, what you should make better. in assembly, in mechanical, in electrical, everything related. And the departments should work at the same time. You should know not only the mechanical stuff, but the electrical stuff as well, which is much harder.
Yeah.
I mean, adding on to what you said about the experiences, I think one of the most important experience that I at least took out of this entire process of the club and the team is there is no technical difficulty that is impossible to overcome.
Yes.
All technical things can be easily solved. Not easily solved. They take
time. They take effort.
But they're not impossible. But what I think can become impossible, or what becomes the most difficult, is making the people work together and making such.
Cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the most difficult part is making people work together, because I mean, when you have really great minds that we do have in our university, it's very difficult to make people agree and make sure that everyone is not in conflict, and even if there is disagreements, to solve them in a healthy manner for the continuation of the project. Because in a personal situation or in a day-to-day situation, if you have a fallout with someone, it doesn't affect any project or any end goal. But once it does, you really have to be mature about it and find a solution so that you can continue working towards that end goal. So I think it really made me appreciate that engineering projects that we see, like.
Yes. I would add something to you, what you said and what he said. First of all, being in a club, yes, makes a lot of friends, gains a lot of experience, and makes you closer even to professors. Like, if there's one advice I would give my younger self, one of the advices, my younger self, like in the beginning of my undergraduate career, I should have joined a club earlier.
But there wasn't a club.
Unfortunately, I joined a club in my last year. I couldn't have the chance to fulfill everything I can get from this club. But I believe also that I gave and earned the best I could get in this period of time. Speaking about conflicts in teams, yes, I guess Sela agrees on that. I was not a very diplomatic person before being involved in projects that has a lot of people. And we personally had a conflict in our graduation project.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, it comes back to my personality, but yes, it affected my personality so much. He can explain more how Jad started and how Jad ended.
I mean, completing that topic, I got to witness not only Jad's, even myself's maturity throughout the entire process of. I mean, we worked on every project in every class we had together.
Yes.
The club, the team, and our graduation project was also a flying wing aircraft.
Yes.
Was another aircraft that we built together.
We used to wake up. It was 4 or 5 a.m.
Talking about aircraft.
So that picks me up. Our only topic is about aircrafts, projects, whatever homework, whatever quiz, whatever exam we have.
Club projects.
We spend the whole day in uni together, class to class, workshop class. Leave at 2, 3 a.m. This was my life for the past year, and I enjoyed it so much, not gonna lie.
Same with me, and I will agree that I wish I did this or got involved in this type of work ethic in my first year.
Yes.
But again, we didn't have that opportunity, and we want to give this opportunity to everyone that joins the team or joins the university. You should have this opportunity, because these type of experiences really teach you that if a problem exists,
Why are you laughing?
The existence of a problem implies a solution also exists. So you will never feel that once you hit a wall, there's no way around it, but that for a problem to exist, you have to be able to find a solution for it.
Yeah, also I agree on that, because, for example, before joining the club, honestly, going only to classes and leaving the classes, and this is the only interaction I have with the school, with the university, I mean, it's kind of boring, honestly, because now after being in the club, I go to the class, I see most of the time, because we almost mechanical engineers have common classes, I see too many new faces.
You see that someone is also sharing your suffering. It's nice, you're not suffering alone.
No. I mean, basically, what I meant, I know more people. I have more friends, more close people, and I think that's a very good thing. And also, like adding to stuff you said, I mean, university is not about academical stuff only. Like,
Exactly.
Yes, you should study good, you should be success in your classes and exams, etc. But I think you also need to learn how to connect with people, like make connections, be more social, deal with the problems, deal with the conflicts, and also like our university is international as well, and we're trying to keep the club international at the same time because not all the clubs are international. So we're trying to speak in English and people can understand it, watch our podcasts, be in the club, be in the meetings, and don't feel uncomfortable at the same time. So basically I'm trying to say that having this kind of clubs which are not only technical but social as well, since we have departments which are responsible for social activities, also like
definitely.
trying to make connections between the members in the teams and also members in the board, so they can participate and know each other as well. And I think it's very good feature of our club, I would say.
Exactly. And again, adding on to that, I guess I'm gonna become like too philosophical or life advice based, but
Typical Selo.
But one more thing that I remembered now that I wanted to share. Again, it sounds like very like life advicey, but
Enlighten us.
the club really changed my outlook and my life philosophy entirely. Like I will admit, when I first came in to the university, I was really cocky, and I mean I would still say there is some left of that childish mindset, but going throughout and making decisions and seeing how wrong decisions can lead to bad outcomes and how you need to take responsibility for it, I ended up accepting the fact that again, this was actually a study I read about, like I think around like my second year of uni, where they do this street experiment. So they have a jar of candy, which is see-through glass, and it's just put on the street. So when people are walking by, they ask a stranger to guess how much candy is inside. It's a really large number, so you can't really count it. You have to guess it.
Yeah.
And then they rally up every single guess, and then they take the average at the end of the day. And the average of every single guess was the actual closest number to the real amount of candies than any single individual guess. So what this really shows you is that the collective consensus between a group of people will always be the closest solution, the closest to the correct solution that you can get. No matter how smart, how successful you will never alone be able to make the best decision yourself. So it's always important to surround yourself with people that can give you feedback and will give you feedback, and that are not just people that will yes man everything you say because they're your friend, but people that are critical of you and push you to think outside of the box.
Yes.
And this is also something we really strive for in the team. When we're designing something or we have a part, we never want them to design something or do it the way we tell them to do it. We always tell them they're free to go any other route, and we can explore every different option.
Yes. It's a motivational podcast, I guess.
This is going to be a full motivational podcast.
What was Eminem's song that we used to listen at 5 a.m.?
Till I Collapse.
Till I Collapse. This was our song on 5
We opened that every morning on the way, like literally sleep deprived, eating like Cafe Nero, Till I Collapse. Eminem like rap music.
When the plane collapses, then we go back.
3 important things about managing the club.
Patience.
Patience, definitely. What else would you say?
Tolerance is the same thing, I agree.
Tolerant. Oh yeah, tolerance is. Okay, we messed up. We'll
Again, 3, 2, 1.
3 important things about managing the club.
Patience.
Time management.
Who?
Leadership?
Yours time management?
Yeah, your own time management.
Of course, you're on time management.
Because you have many different departments, and all of those departments meet with themselves, but then nobody knows that you are also meeting each department for every single meeting. So if a department has a meeting every week, that's a meeting every week for that department. But for you, that's if you have 4 or 5 departments, 4 or 5 meetings every week.
Exactly.
On top of the general team meetings or general club meetings that you have again. So every single number is multiplied for you. So you should have good time management yourself to keep on track and keep the communication in the loop for the club.
Yes, good leadership skills, I can add that. And this is the most important thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
You should be able to communicate with people coming from different levels, as we said. Like, for example, we take students from ESC 1, 2, 3 until they're like seniors. So you can't expect like the same job, same achievement, same performance from an ESC student or a first year student as you're expecting it from a fourth year student. So your ability as a leader to understand and respectfully divide tasks without like letting the other person feel like he's left out or he's been given a smaller task or too much tasks is a very important aspect while like managing a team.
Yes, you're true. You're right.
And also communication, I think. Communication is very important.
It comes up on the leadership skills as well.
Yeah. I think also, like, again, coming on communication, what I felt very helpful, again, speaking from personal experience, if you're explaining something to someone and you're not sure if they've understood what you've explained and you expect them to assume or just know stuff that you've explained, you're better off not expecting that and explaining it step by step, because you lose nothing if you explain something in detail, but you have so much more to lose if you don't explain it in detail, because if they were to misunderstand, they could go and do something completely else.
I see.
What happened?
It was long. I got confused. 3 favorite places in Koç, in campus, on a campus.
SNA, engineering building, workshop.
Agree. All 3.
Workshop. I mean, you're always together, so.
All 3, yes.
Okay. 3 favorite places to eat if they're in the campus.
0.
Inside the campus or including Batı?
None.
Let's include Batı.
Including Batı, Lalun. Lalun Kumpir is really nice.
Lalun.
Lalun
French accent, nice one.
Lalun Kumpir.
I can't forget that 2 kumpirs in one.
That was really nice.
Barba's
In 10
good.
minutes. Barba is good.
I've
Let's go
never-
to Barba after this.
Barba's not bad.
Shout out,
Shout out to
advertisement.
Barba.
Sponsoring this podcast episode. I think
Not you.
I think we're very limited in Koç.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. There was like sushi
How do
places
you
and
compare
stuff.
food here to Scotland?
Much better here. Much better here.
Does it come from the nationalism in you as a Turkish person, or like?
I think my nationalist opinion does become dominant in this opinion, but I also believe that I don't know, I just don't like. This is again not trying to be racist in any way, but I think British food is very bland. Like
Fish and chips.
fish and chips. That's like just one meal. Again, that's also very bland. It's just fish and potatoes, and then you have like what Scottish or British breakfast, which is just beans and eggs.
Yeah.
Again, no hate, just very bland in my opinion.
3 favorite professors. I guess they're
I think-
I will not rank.
It's just ranking.
I will
It's
not
just
rank.
Ranking,
3
like ranking top 3 or 3 favorite?
No, 3 favorites.
Irre-
3
irrelevant.
favorite,
favorite.
and I will not say it in a rank.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
No ranking.
Professor Metin Moradolu, Professor Erdem Araca, and Professor İpek Başdoğan, even though I took like 1 course from her, but she's a very nice professor.
For me, I would say Professor Metin Muradoğlu, Professor Erdem, and Professor Arif Karabeyoğlu.
3
Courses.
favorite courses. Yes.
3 favorite courses.
And which you like consider important to our department.
Ah.
That's very important
Depends.
thing, you know.
It depends on the track that you're following. Okay, like
For
I can
basic
say
mechanical-
rocket propulsion, but like people interested in robotics won't find
For
this like beneficial.
Yeah, for you, for example, rocket propulsion. Like.
For me, currently, my master's path is different from the track that I was taking, but I love like what I did and what I'm
Right.
doing currently right now. So if I can give an advice to an undergraduate student following aerospace engineering track, definitely MEC 4 to 8 from Professor Arif, Introduction to Aerospace Engineering. MEC 4 to 2, Computational Fluid Dynamics. People might expect it to be OCFD on like some kind of like commercial software, but it's one of the courses that I learned the most from. And one more course which is beneficial might be MEC 307, Numerical Methods for Engineers, because MATLAB is the language of mechanical engineering. It helps you in every single way possible.
Yes, I see.
I'm gonna start from 307, Mech 307. I definitely agree. I mean, even in my master's right now, I have classes called like simulation of aerospace systems, and the simulation is written completely in MATLAB alone, like nothing else. MATLAB and Simulink, I think, are both really
Yes.
amazing software because, like, I couldn't have said it better. It is the language of mechanical engineers because it's not complex coding where you have to write different files and complex functions, but you can still really play around. It's a matrix laboratory,
Yes,
just by the name.
exactly.
Mech 428, again, I will say, was a really amazing course for me, given by, again, Professor Arif Karabeoğlu. And for my last course, I think I would say Mech 203, design.
That's
I think
Basic course, but
it's a very basic course, but I think every mechanical engineer requires CAD,
of course.
and that is the only course that's
it's a
compulsory.
very good
that teaches you.
introduction. It's a very good introduction course.
But
yes.
but we might disagree on that. You can learn design online, but you can't learn
From our workshops as well.
from our workshops as well. But you can't learn computational fluid dynamics using MATLAB online. You can't learn the principles of aerospace engineering online. You can, but when it's given by like one of the best engineers, aerospace engineers in Turkey, it's different. So yes, design is a very basic course that can be.
I mean, it depends. There's a lot of mechanical engineers that end up never doing computational fluid dynamics. So I think it depends on the course or the path you want, career path. So I think as an all-round mechanical engineer, for me it would be one of the most important. But for my own path, I would agree that computational fluid dynamics would be
Yes.
important because it's my career path and my area of interest. But for an all-round mechanical engineer, I don't think it's very crucial because I think majority of engineers I know end up not following that
I agree.
that analysis path.
Yes.
What is one of the most embarrassing stories? One of the embarrassing stories you could tell us about?
For me, this is really embarrassing. I actually contemplated even if I should admit to this in the first place. This happened in my last year of uni, where I need to pick a general elective to graduate, and I didn't know what to pick, so I was like, okay, I will take a course unnamed, undefined, and I ended up enrolling for this course, this was a course that was meant for all engineers, so it was an all engineering course. It was still an engineering course, but anyways, I was like, okay, enroll for it, and I enrolled for it at the beginning of the semester, and I took a screenshot of the classroom for my timetable, and then the professor sent an email, but he sent an email like the day I enrolled, so I did not get the email, and I didn't check quizzes again to see if the classroom had changed. So I ended up going to the wrong class for the first week. But in my defense, the class that I went to was it was overlapping
Nothing
enough.
can help you at this moment.
It was overlapping enough that it convinced me that this was this class, but not enough for me to question if it was that class. So I attended the first week. By the way, this was a computer engineering class, the wrong class I went to. I sat down, I listened to the whole lecture. Then I came back the next week, and the next week was deciding to go into groups and design a app development project. I sat down, I formed a group, I became the group leader. I gave the idea for which app we should be planning. And then once we were discussing halfway into the class, I was like really questioning myself. I was like, this is a very computer-oriented class. This does not feel like it's a all-inclusive engineering class. And then one of my group members asked me like, you have all these ideas, can you actually code? Can you actually program all of these? These are really complex ideas. And I was like, do we actually have to program all of these? That's when it really hit me. I was like, wait a minute, this might be something that I'm not aware of. And then I turned to, of course, someone in the group and I said, what is this, what course code is this, the class we're in? And he tells me it's comp XXX. And I was like, oh wow, I'm in the wrong class, and this is the second week, and I'm very involved in leading a project in this class.
Emotionally attached, I guess.
I was emotionally attached at that point. I had a stake in that class at that point. So then I, as you would normally do, started packing my bag, and the professor asked me like, is everything okay? And I told him, Hocam, I think I'm in the wrong classroom. And he told me, which class did you think you were in? I tell him, he's like, oh, that's not this class. So I turned around, I said goodbye to everyone, said goodbye to my group, picked up my bag and left the class in the most embarrassing way possible, and then attended the correct class. So that was a very
So both of our stories involve leaving a class. Shameful.
yep, a very embarrassing moment, but very funny and
Remarkable moment.
one that I enjoyed actually. When I
Kind of
look back.
event.
Kind of event, yeah, I agree.
Did they ask you why you weren't there the first 2 weeks?
I mean, when I went, I had friends that were taking that class, and they asked me where I was, and I just told them I was going to the cancelled class, and seeing that it was cancelled, so I would not attend it. I didn't tell them I was obviously attending, forming groups.
I
And
guess now they know.
now they know.
Okay, guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you in our next episode. Subscribe, follow.
Buy our merch.
Wait. Thank you everyone for watching. See you on our next episode. You can subscribe, follow us. Bye bye. Oh no!